Sometimes you make the pitch and get an easy play. Other times you give it the supreme effort and you come up just a little bit short. There's nothing like clutch hitting and effective relief pitching. And so far the Yankees have gotten both, leaving Boston manager Kevin Kennedy pondering what's next. Presents New York Yankees baseball. Tonight, it's the Boston Red Sox meeting the New York Yankees. Starting pitchers tonight for the Red Sox, Vaughn and Eshelman, and for the Yankees, Sterling Hitchcock. It's game 2 of the 4 games in 4-night series here at Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox came in with an all-time record of 38 runs in their first 4 games, but the Yankees limited them to 3 runs on the home run by Mike McFarland last night and coming from behind to win it by a score of 5-3. And hi again, everybody. Dave Cohen along with Jim Cott. You know, Jim, some people believe you don't tinker with success, but Buck Showalter tonight is changing his lineup.
Well, and there's a good reason for that. With a left-hander on the mound, first of all, he'd like to get some of his extra men in the lineup. Randy Velarde will play. Gerald Williams will get a start in left field. Of course, Bernie Williams, as a leadoff hitter, doesn't hit there that often, but when he does, he's one of the best leadoff hitters in the American League.
In fact, last season, Bernie Williams led off 28 times, and his on-base percentage as a leadoff man, second only to Rickey Henderson.
Well, and he gives Buck Showalter a switch hitter at the top of the lineup. His on-base percentage, .333. There's his batting average in those 28 starts. And with that new-look lineup, pitchers are not going to pitch 9 innings these days. So believe me, Wade Boggs, Paul O'Neill, Luis Polonia on that bench may see action later in this game against a right-hand pitcher.
The Red Sox are calling their Big Four the Boom Boys, and Jose Canseco has 277 lifetime home runs. He didn't get one last night. They pitched him in a certain way.
Well, they did. And anytime you go into a game and pitch against a Jose Canseco, it's concern for a left-hand pitcher. Tonight, Sterling Hitchcock. Last night, watching Jimmy Key, first inning, note the pitch low and away, got him to ground into a double play. And I would expect Sterling Hitchcock to try to do the same thing tonight. Jose Canseco is trying to pull the ball and hit home runs. You pitch him down and away and hope you can get some ground balls.
Of course, Sterling Hitchcock is the Yankees' 5th starter in the rotation, and there was some concern that this game would not be played because of the weather, but it looks like we'll get it in.
Well, we're going to have cold conditions, and anytime you have conditions like that, it's always a concern for the pitchers gripping the ball. It's a little bit windy. Pitchers and outfielders will all be concerned with that. But I think now that the players have played 3 games in Kansas City under these conditions, they're a little more accustomed to it.
So it's the Yankees and the Red Sox, game 2 of this best-of-4 series, and we'll return to the stadium right after this.
Every business day, Delta Airlines offers New Yorkers more non-stop flights to more cities in Europe than any other airline in the world. From Paris to Moscow to Rome, Delta helps you get down to business in every corporate capital on the continent. And then we have just as many flights to bring you back to those more important meetings. Delta Airlines.
9 to 5. Nobody keeps those hours anymore. Breakfast is now the most important meal of the business day. But sometimes you need more than coffee to start your day. You need an important package. Introducing UPS Early AM Delivery. Not just by 10:30, but by 8:30 a.m. guaranteed. The business day may seem endless, but at least now you know when it can begin. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Some fast food places have a breakfast biscuit like 7-Eleven's with sausage, scrambled egg, and cheese on a flaky buttermilk biscuit. At least we think they do. Huh? The Deli Central Breakfast Biscuit. Pick up one this morning at 7-Eleven. Some trendy places may offer a pita sandwich like 7-Eleven's with juicy ham, turkey, and Swiss cheese layered between 2 pitas. But can they give you this? The Deli Central Pita Sandwich, delivered fresh every day to 7-Eleven.
Today's term is setting a pick. This is how I set a pick. And this is where I pick a set.
At Nobody Beats the Wiz, we have more sets to pick from than anyone else. Like a 27-inch Magnavox with the exclusive locator remote, or a 20-inch Sony Trinitron with on-screen control.
When you want to pick a set, nobody beats the Wiz.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz. For state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more, nobody beats the Wiz. By Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees and Madison Square Garden. You'll love the way we fly. And by AT&T International Business Services. Let AT&T work for you.
Back at Yankee Stadium, Dave Cohen, Jim Cott, as the Yankees and the Red Sox get set to play game number 2 of this 4-game series. Sterling Hitchcock, the number 5 starter for the Yankees, getting his first outing of the season tonight. Yankees defeating the Red Sox last night, and here's the 7-11 lineup that Sterling Hitchcock will face. Luis Alicea, John Valentin, Mo Vaughn in the DH. In the cleanup spot, Jose Canseco, Mark Whitten, Mike Greenwell, Mike McFarland, Tim Naring, and Lee Tinsley. Alicea set to bat for the Red Sox against Sterling Hitchcock. And the fastball for a called strike on the last night of replacement umpiring. 48 degrees as we get underway here at Yankee Stadium. The wind's blowing strongly left field to right. And Hitchcock gets the curve in.
Well, that's a nice sign already for Sterling Hitchcock on a cold night where it's a little more difficult to grip the ball, and he gets a curveball in for a strike.
Alicea held up, so the count is 1-2 with John Valentin to hit next for the Boston Red Sox. Alicea is a switch hitter. Came over from the National League and starting off with a 182 average through 5 games.
Red Sox gave up a couple of minor leaguers. Well, Nate Minchie had actually pitched a little with the Red Sox last year. Traded them to the Cardinals for Luis Alicea, lead off for Kevin Kennedy's team. Of course, his first year with the Red Sox also.
Right back in front of the plate. Hitchcock will make the turn and throw and get his man.
Oh, nice fielding play by Sterling Hitchcock, but let's look at the Yankees behind him in the field. Gerald Williams, Bernie Williams, Danny Tartabull around the outfield, then Velarde, Fernandez, Kelly, and Mattingly. And again, Jim Leyritz behind the plate with the injury to Mike Stanley's middle finger. Really gives the Yankees some depth at the catching position. Jim Leyritz could probably be the everyday catcher for a lot of teams in the major leagues.
Certainly his bat, as well as his glove, could help him stake that claim. So once again, Hitchcock able to control the curveball for a called strike against John Valentin, and Valentin comes in with some very impressive numbers, leading the American League in batting, leading the American League in hits, and he has the highest on-base percentage. We're in the top of the first, 1 man out, a 1-strike count to Valentin. And again, Hitchcock gets the curveball. Came back with it one more time.
He finished last year with 3 very impressive starts, and the versatility of Sterling Hitchcock is that if he is not effective as a starter, Buck Showalter has used him out of the bullpen. He can help there too.
Valentin now has a 2-ball, 2-strike count. He's managed to hit in all 5 of the Red Sox games so far. And he hits Hits this one hard to left field. Gerald Williams, in his first start of the season, makes the catch.
Wow. Gerald showing off his cannon here early in the game on a cold night. He says, I don't get to start too often. Gunned that one in like he was going to throw somebody out at second base. Gives the Yankees a little more speed in their lineup tonight, something they don't use a great deal, but Gerald Williams adds some speed to that batting order.
Now as Mo Vaughn, the left-handed batter, steps in against Sterling Hitchcock, we should point out before too long that Sterling has never yielded a home run to a left-handed batter. Big Mo. Mo Vaughn looking back at that high strike. Look at Pat Kelly, the second baseman. He's already on the outfield grass.
And the outfield straight away. You think of Mo Vaughn as a power hitter that he'd pull the ball, but he dives into the pitch, even the pitch outside, so they shade him the other way a little.
Hitchcock tried the big bender. 2-1. Mo has feasted on the Yankees in the last 2 seasons. Look out for the bat. It hits on top of the Yankee dugout, and Mo Vaughn is thrown out at first base.
Well, that's nice double play. Nice play by the fan in the box seat, and an awfully good play by Pat Kelly as everyone had their eyes on the broken bat. This is what you call getting in the kitchen. And Pat Kelly makes a remarkable play, barehanded and accurate toss.
Don't wait any longer. The hottest sale from America's hottest car company just got extended. The National Chrysler Plymouth Sale. Thousands of cars to clear. Special allocations. Get low 4.9% financing. The best trade-ins. Make your best deal and then get up to $1,500 cash back. So don't miss this. The National Chrysler Plymouth Sale. Only at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
The rewards of using the American Express card keep adding up. Every time you use the card, you can earn miles. Miles that add up to free vacations, free flights, free adventures. The Membership Miles program. It's our way of saying thank you for using the American Express card. Enroll today. You've earned it. To enroll or to apply for a card, call 1-800-AX-MILES.
The Yankees are at the stadium to take on the Boston Red Sox again. After Scorecard, tomorrow night, right here on MSG.
Bottom of the first at Yankee Stadium. Vaughn Eshelman on the mound, about to make his major league debut. The 44th pitcher to debut at Yankee Stadium. And he'll be facing a new leadoff batter for the Yankees tonight, at least new this season, Bernie Williams.
Nerves enough your debut as a major league pitcher, but more so when that debut is in Yankee Stadium. Stadium you've heard about and read about.
Vaughn Eshelman, born in Philadelphia, now lives in the Houston, Texas area. Williams chased off that bunt attempt.
And you would expect the Yankee hitters in this first inning to be very, very patient. Young left-hander, major league debut, make him throw strikes, and they'll try to take him deep into the count.
On the ground to first, Mo Vaughn, unassisted. So a sigh of relief probably for Vaughn Eshelman as he has retired his first major league batter.
Always nice to, when you start a game and it's your first start, your objective is don't embarrass yourself. Believe it or not, you go out there and say, you know, probably left 20 tickets for his friends and family. You don't want to embarrass yourself. Just get through the first few innings, and then you begin to settle down a little bit.
Now Randy Velarde, who's starting tonight for the Yankees at third base in place of Wade Boggs. Velarde started one game at Kansas City at second base. He goes to the hole. It's a base hit to right field. And once again tonight, you can see how slowly the ball is rolling on the outfield grass, which is lush and wet. Here's the 7-11 starting lineup that Vaughn Eshelman will face after Williams and Velarde, Jim Leyritz, Danny Tartable, Mike Stanley, Don Mattingly hitting sixth, Tony Fernandez, Gerald Williams, and Pat Kelly.
And behind Vaughn Eshelman in the field for the Red Sox, the outfield, Greenwell, Tinsley, and Mark Whitten. John Valentin plays shortstop with Luis Alicea and Mo Vaughn on the right side of the diamond. Mike McFarland catches, and Tim Nehring. Remember, the Red Sox have only 10 returnees on this year's team, and Tim Nehring now getting a chance to play third base after the trade of Scott Cooper to St. Louis. He came up as a shortstop.
Jim Leyritz, who had the big double last night for the Yankees. Leyritz comes in batting at .286. There's 2 extra base hits, the home run being the other one. Good grab by Eshelman. Who's going to handle it? The shortstop did, and they turn the double play. 1-6-3. Nearly miscommunications at second base, but the Red Sox turn it over, and we've completed one with no score at Yankee Stadium.
Making your money make more for you. Interchange State Bank.
Come to Gorman Appliance of Inglewood for the guaranteed lowest prices. Gorman is a member of Associated Volume Buyers. 938 stores strong means top quality at the guaranteed lowest price. We have the lowest prices on refrigerators, microwaves, ranges, washers, dryers, TVs, and VCRs. Free delivery on most major appliances. With our 30-day lowest prices guarantee, you're assured the lowest price. Gorman Appliance, 30 East Palisade Avenue, Inglewood. Lowest price, guaranteed.
See the real circus, Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus, 3-ring family entertainment under the big top. See tigers, horses, trapeze stars, 3 rings of elephants. See the human cannonball at Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus, an evening your child will never forget.
Coming to the 20th Century Field in Garfield on Thursday and Friday, May 25th and 26th, with advance tickets now on sale at the Garfield YMCA and the Garfield Recreation Department on Midland Avenue. Free tickets for kids available at Garfield Foodtown and ShopRite.
Top of the second inning, there's Vaughn Eshelman seated all the way down the bench in the Red Sox dugout. I guess that's a 90s tradition.
Well, in that little piece of paper, I think it was a bubblegum wrapper he read. He's looking for his fortune on there, but he had good fortune making his debut. What a nice way to get started. Turn a 1-6-3 double play and threw a lot of strikes.
They're booing in Yankee Stadium. Guess why? Jose Canseco is the batter. Few get a reaction like Jose gets. Let's see if he takes one of his prodigious swings and grabs his rib cage. Hitchcock starting off with a breaking pitch. Jose Canseco 0 for 2 against Hitchcock lifetime with 1 walk.
Said he's already reaped some benefits by playing in Fenway Park. Everybody optimistic in the Red Sox camp about him hitting a lot of home runs in Fenway, and he hit one in their last home series. He said it would not have been out of any other ballpark except Fenway. Kind of a high, lazy fly ball. Now
the count is 3-0.
He took a little bit of a glance down at Dave Oliver, the third base coach, but you can bet if it's there, he'll be swinging.
3 balls and a strike now. Sterling Hitchcock working to his first batter in the top of the second inning. Another long ball threat on deck, Mark Whitten. Ripped into left field for a leadoff single by Jose Canseco. Williams in to return it. So a leadoff single for Canseco. That's the Red Sox first hit of the game. Frank White is the Red Sox coach at first base.
You see Leyrit's target. They like to keep it away, and Hitchcock gets this middle of the plate in. And I would expect you're going to see more and more teams this year as you see Canseco pull that ball, shift him all the way over in the left. So when he first came up, he used the whole field, but he has become much more of a pull hitter.
Switch hitting Mark Whitten. Canseco, the 40-40 man of yesteryear, draws a throw at first base. 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, one season. So Hitchcock low on his first offering to Mark Whitten. The year was 1988 with the Oakland A's when Jose Canseco hit 42 home runs and stole 40 bases. Bouncing ball foul down the third baseline.
That was one of the surprising things about the Oakland A's. You thought of them as all that power, but Canseco came up with the stolen bases, added a speed element. But now on this ball club, it's pretty much station to station. There's a couple of good ones chatting at first base, Mattingly and Canseco. They're not going to use the running game much.
So Hitchcock signaled to Jim Leyritz and the umpire, got a new baseball.
Well, what he's done from the stretch, and it's an easy habit to get into for a left-hand pitcher, he's looking at the runner as he starts his motion. And then at the last minute, picks up the target. That's too late. You have to focus in on that target a little earlier than that, and he doesn't like the feel of the baseball.
Big jump for Canseco. There'll be no throw.
Well, he heard you. The 40-40.
Yeah, but he may have pulled a muscle, too. Heavily muscled Jose Canseco could be in trouble.
Well, that's kind of cruel to think that he's getting an ovation because he's got an injury, but I don't. The walk right there would lead you to believe it's a cramp. But when you see a player reach down for there and flex like that, hamstring or the inner part of the leg could be a pulled groin muscle. A night like tonight, there was no hitting on the field. It's cold, it's early, and boy, you really have to make sure you're stretched out before the game starts. We talked about that at the Kansas City series. It was so cold, you come to the park, you say, well, I don't think they'll play this game. And sometimes you don't get as ready physically or mentally. And it looks like right now they're working on that quadricep area or upper thigh. You see, he takes the walking lead and gambles as soon as Hitchcock takes a look at him, but there's no way Leyritz had any chance to throw him out, and he caught that spike of his left foot. You see him looking back as he made the slide. When he made that slide, he didn't get the front leg up. Well, no, that's the right leg, the one he landed on, so he didn't catch his spikes on that one.
In Kansas City, I remember Jim Leyritz coming in the game when Mike Stanley was injured as we watched Canseco's jump.
And it's not a hit and run because he's not even looking in. It's a straight steal. And he looked back and immediately reached for his leg as if he hit something on the dirt area there. And he's going to have to leave the ball game.
Yeah, he gave it a try sprinting on the outfield grass, but there's no way he can go. And Jose is leaving the game here in the second inning. So he singled, he stole second, and he has run himself right off the field with this injury. Jose Canseco is done. And now there'll be some anxious moments, perhaps days. They could even stretch into weeks.
Wes Chamberlain will come in to take over for Jose Canseco. I mean, you just keep getting bigger off that Boston bench. We talked about it last night. They look like an NFL team when you go up and down that roster.
First ball hitting to third. Velarde holds the runner, and his long throw is in time to retire Mark Whitten. So the Yankees have recorded their first out here in the second inning, and Mike Greenwell will hit.
Not the kind of baseball Kevin Kennedy wants to see. Wes Chamberlain trying to get his legs straightened out. You got a man on second base, and even though you have the power of a Mark Whitten early in the game, you want to advance that runner and get him into onto third base with just one out.
And the pitch is low to Mike Greenwell. Anyway, back to Jim Leyritz. When he came into the game in Kansas City, when Mike Stanley hurt his finger, Leyritz came in as a pinch runner, and I was concerned that with the cold air, he could be susceptible to pulling a muscle. But as the DH, he said he was warming up and stretching in the clubhouse. Tony Fernandez at shortstop makes the catch.
Let's take one more look at Jose Canseco's stolen base and the injury that caused him to leave the game about 10 feet before he gets to the bag. Right in there, he catches that spike on the infield dirt and immediately looked back at it, so he could feel something in that leg as soon as he hit the ground, and it looked like an apparent groin strain or a groin pull.
Now Mike McFarland, who hit the 3-run homer off the lefty Jimmy Key last night, he hit a very low pitch on the outside part of the plate. So Hitchcock starts him off with a big curve. No score. We're in the top of the second. Sterling Hitchcock, the number 5 starter in the Yankee rotation. The pitch that he hit last night was lower than that called strike. Probably wasn't a strike. Hitchcock steps off, asks for the signs to be sent out again. With a runner at second base, Wes Chamberlain.
I always thought of Mike McFarland as a high ball hitter and a pull hitter. You mentioned the pitch that he hit for a home run, a good low fastball about shin high. But with that kind of bat position, anytime you see a hitter with that bat in a vertical position, it's much easier to drop the barrel on the low pitch.
Leyritz tried to get the strike call. Well, tomorrow night the real guys are back.
I don't know if they'll get a called strike on this. You get very few calls on pitches above the belt, and that is belt high, but Major League strike zone, that's called high.
3-1 to McFarland. So we have our first full count of the game. We've talked about how many we've seen so far throughout spring training in the early part of the season. And the count will remain full. Same 2 teams the next 2 nights here at Yankee Stadium. Jack McDowell scheduled to pitch on Wednesday, and then Melito Perez on Thursday.
And the Yankees will see another left-hander from the Red Sox, Riel Cormier, who they acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals.
Once again, the payoff pitch. In the air, short center field. Kelly calls. Kelly catches. The inning is over. So the Red Sox got a hit and they left a man on base. And now in the middle of the second, no score.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me
The Hoover Power Drive Cleaner. It's self-propelled forward and back with reversible drive wheels and fingertip control. The self-propelled Hoover Power Drive. It makes the cleaning so effortless, you might say it's child's play.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Every business day, Delta Airlines offers New Yorkers more non-stop flights to more cities in Europe than any other airline in the world. From Paris to Moscow to Rome, Delta helps you get down to business in every corporate capital on the continent. And then we have just as many flights to bring you back to those more important meetings. Delta Airlines.
Vacation time is Sony Handycam time. And nobody knows Handycams like nobody beats the Wiz.
What's up, New York? Welcome to the Iceman Cooking.
Today, the Iceman cooking Derek Harper's cinnamon roll. Now, these cinnamon rolls are like Derek's game. Real sticky. Derek be sticking them on defense. I mean, that aggressive New York defense. I mean, you be denying the ball, then you be stealing the ball, then you be blocking shots. Derek, he got a sweet offense, too. I mean, you know, especially that three. Derek can shoot a long three. He's like these cinnamon rolls. His defense is sticky, and his offense is sweet.
Back at the stadium, we go to the bottom of the second inning. Let's take a look at what caused Jose Canseco to leave the game. Just as he begins his slide, he catches the back spike right here as he goes into his slide. Well before the bag. Foot drags, and immediately upon hitting the ground, watch the way he looks back. He'll immediately look back and grab that right thigh area, inside thigh, which would indicate a groin injury. We'll update you on his status during the rest of the ball game tonight.
Andy Tartabull leading off for the Yankees, bottom of the second inning, no score. And the curveball from Vaughn Eshelman is a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball to short. Easy hop for John Valentin. 1 down.
Nice start for Vaughn Eshelman. You wonder how in the world did the Red Sox get a left-hander like that from Baltimore. He was a 4th-round draft pick in 1991, but he missed an entire season. He had the, you know, if you've ever banged your crazy bone on the table and you feel that vibration, he had that ulnar nerve rerouted around another part of the arm. So he doesn't have to be bothered by the tender elbow anymore, but it takes you about a year to come back from that. 11-9 last year at Double-A, and the Red Sox picked him up as a Rule 5 player.
You mean to tell me his funny bone is now inoperative?
It's not funny anymore. No, you can. Bob Tewksbury had the same thing done after leaving the Yankees, and as those of you know, is pitching very well in the major leagues now.
Mike Stanley in his first at-bat since getting a pitch on the finger Sunday in Kansas City.
It's the middle finger that you see wrapped. It will not affect him at all the way he swings the bat, but he's not catching because it'd be difficult to throw.
He bounces this one to third, nearing out of time with the catcher running, and he throws him out. So another ground ball out. Well, the Rangers right now are in MSG2 against the Florida Panthers. You can catch that game on MSG2, and here are some of the channels you can see it on various cable systems around the New York metropolitan area. The Rangers and the Florida Panthers on MSG2. Here on MSG1, Don Mattingly bats with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Don with 6 runs batted in already and hitting at a .318 clip. Vaughn Eshelman grew up in Pennsylvania and was a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Another ground ball. Who's going to cover first? The pitcher, Eshelman, and he records the putout on Don Mattingly. So that play goes from the second baseman to the pitcher covering, 4-1. And after 2 innings of play, it's the Yankees nothing, the Red Sox nothing.
Buying a used car or truck? You got 3 choices. You can take a chance dealing with strangers looking through the classifieds. You can drive all over town looking for a bargain. Or you can do like I did. You can see a Ford dealer. He's got tons of used cars and trucks, all makes and models, some still under factory warranty, and good prices whether you lease or buy. And your Ford dealer can even help with the financing, and he'll be there to handle the service. Hey, it's your choice. Make it a good one. See your Tri-State quality Ford dealer.
I'm never out of touch.
I'm never out of touch.
I'm never out of touch with Galaxy Sound.
Keep in touch with a convenient cellular phone from Galaxy Sound. Galaxy Sound has a wide selection of models and features and will connect you with the Cellular One network. Galaxy Sound knows your car and provides guaranteed installation. With a reliable Cellular One network, it's easy to keep in touch. Visit Galaxy Sound, an authorized Cellular One agent. Find out how affordable a cellular phone can be.
Per tante generazioni il pane e la pasta e le salse è la nostra passione. I miei figli continuano questa tradizione.
Antonino says the Vita Mia family has been passionate about making pasta, breads, and sauces since living in Sicily. His sons Paul, Joe, and Pino continue the tradition. Vita Mia uses only the freshest ingredients in all their sauces. Try all their fine pastas, ravioli, fettuccine, tortellini, cavatelli, and many more. You want something special? Shop at Vita Mia. Vita Mia, from their hearts to your table.
Back at Yankee Stadium, where the Yankees and Red Sox are scoreless after 2 innings of play. Prior to the game, a moment of silence observed in memory of longtime groundskeeper and head groundskeeper Frankie Albone, who passed away in Florida yesterday. He was loved and respected by all the Yankees, and no more so than this man, Buck Showalter, with a tear coming down his cheek as they play the national anthem and observe the moment of silence. Sterling Hitchcock pitching to Tim Naring here in the top of the 3rd inning at Yankee Stadium in a scoreless game. Hitchcock, 33 pitches beginning this inning.
Reflecting on that shot of Buck Showalter, you would be surprised that Major League Baseball players, some of your strongest friendships are groundskeepers, equipment managers. You see so much of them over a span of time. They're the first guys you run into when you take the field. And I recall Frankie from my first time in the stadium back in the late 50s. Frankie Albone was a part of the Yankee grounds crew here since 1956. And I'll guarantee you every player in the American League remembers Frankie, and we sure send our condolences to his family.
Late call on the strike. Naring now with the 2-ball, 2-strike count. Hitchcock now has the count full. He can reach back for a little extra on that one. Naring is hit safely in all 5 of the Red Sox games.
And we talk about the depth of the Yankee lineup, and they have a deep one, real strong at the bottom of the order with Tony Fernandez and Pat Kelly. But actually, Tim Naring and Lee Tinsley are out hitting the Yankee 8 and 9 spot. They're the best in the league.
Little blooper to center field. Here comes Bernie. He can't get it. It's a base hit. And now Naring has a 6-game hitting streak. Yeah, Naring and the man who follows, Lee Tinsley, have driven in 11 runs already.
Between the two of them, the 8 and 9 spot, a 400 average, and getting on base. Little jam shot, fastball on the inside part of the plate that he didn't get all of, but enough to get a base hit to lead off the 3rd. On base percentage of almost 500 between Tinsley and Naring.
Tinsley 1 for 3 last night. Showing the bunt. Well, he certainly isn't built like a number 9 hitter. He's really put together, Lee Tinsley.
He has enough speed to be a leadoff hitter, and eventually if he proves that he can hit a little more consistently, they'll put him at the top of the lineup and drop down Alicea, but not right now. They want to go through a little trial period to see if he can hit consistently in the big leagues.
Hitchcock with a move to first didn't fool Naring one bit. Yankees nothing, Red Sox nothing. Top of inning number 3. Threw the heat by him that time.
Only hit .222 last year, but Jim Rice, the Red Sox hitting coach, working a lot with Tinsley on trying to swing down and through the ball and hit more ground balls, keep the ball out of the air and use that speed.
Slide step delivery that time by Sterling Hitchcock. 2-1 to Tinsley. Now the Red Sox begin play tonight as the best hitting team in the American League, and Jim Rice is rather new in that position of hitting coach.
Came to, of course, he's been in their minor league organization, but he came to spring training with some new ideas for some of the hitters. And you think of Jim Rice as a power hitter, but he was also had a career average of .299.
.299. You think he regrets just getting up a couple extra at bats there, falling below 300? Now Mattingly running back to the bag. Two and 1 is the count to the number 9 hitter, as the number 8 hitter, Tim Naehring, leads off first. Lee Tinsley at the plate. Beyond the grasp with a diving Pat Kelly into right field. So it's back-to-back singles here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Boston Red Sox.
Neither ball hit particularly well. Naehring's in on the hands. But the fact that the pitch was up, and again, that's a result of you have a team that doesn't rely on speed. It's just out of Kelly's reach, and Naehring can advance only to second. But you have a team that doesn't rely on a lot of speed, and yet when Hitchcock pays so much attention to the base runner, note the pitches are up in the strike zone.
Let's see how the Yankees play this defensively now. Velarde's at third, Mattingly's at first. They're each on the edge of the grass as Alicea shows bunt, and Hitchcock, the latest Yankee pitcher to go to the fake move to second base. Seems like we've seen that virtually every game.
It's one of the moves that Buck Showalter will use, a fake throw, just to keep the base runner a little closer, and hopes that on a sacrifice bunt attempt you could throw him out at third base.
Pitch is low. Leyritz with the mask off. We're in the 3rd inning. The Red Sox have runners at first and second. Signs coming in from the third base coach,
Dave Oliver, who Kevin Kennedy had as his third base coach in Texas.
Luis Alicea, switch hitter, batting right, and Leyritz is going to stroll out to the mound and say something about the Yankee defense. You see Mattingly in on the grass. Fernandez and Kelly look for 2. Velarde's at third. Hitchcock doing a lot of looking back to second base as he begins his delivery.
We saw that in spring training, and it's a habit. It's easy to get into. You get men on base, and you forget that the guys there are not going to steal, but you pay so much attention to them, and you don't have the same command going toward home plate.
And now he falls behind Alicea 3-0. So after 2 singles, he's missed the strike zone now considerably on each of his 3 pitches to Alicea, and he's a pitch away from having the bases loaded and nobody out. And Alicea showed the bunt, and Hitchcock now has the bases loaded. Buck Showalter watching as the very dangerous John Valentin is coming up.
Seems to be having a lot of problem with that the blue gumbo that they're using out on the mound at the stadium this year. It is a little gummy. It sticks in your spikes.
Jim referring to the triangular swath on the mound of some imported clay. Breaking pitch, that's a ball. And we're going to get a visit now for Billy Connors, the Yankee pitcher coach. 15 pitches this inning. After 2 leadoff singles, the bases are loaded, and Sterling Hitchcock has been plagued.
Yeah, that's a high base runners per 9 innings. That's the combination of hits, walks, and hit bats. But I think right now Billy Connors' conversation is trust your stuff. So easy to give the opposing hitters too much credit. Hitchcock has had a lot of control problems during his career.
As a matter of fact, those runners per 9 innings, you just saw nearly 15 a game. No pitcher has ever lasted for 500 big league innings by allowing that many base runners. In the air to left field and deep. Gerald Williams to the wall, and it is gone. Grand slam home run. John Valentin. The Red Sox 4 and the Yankees nothing. He came in as the American League's leading hitter in terms of average and hits and on-base percentage.
No question about the Red Sox ability to score runs. You have a number 2 hitter with this kind of power. That's his first career grand slam. And again, Sterling Hitchcock plagued by some wildness and pitches up in the strike zone. Gerald Williams gives it his best leap. Can't reach it.
Now big Mo Vaughn. John Valentin, native of Mineola, Long Island, attended Seton Hall. Same school as the batter now up, Mo Vaughn. It's 2-0.
Quite a difference in the tempo of last night's game and tonight. And again, it's dictated by the starting pitcher. And I'm sure in due time, Sterling Hitchcock will try to watch Jimmy Key closely and pattern himself a little more after him.
On the ground is second. Kelly has to backhand, and he makes the play. 1 away.
We're talking about the Red Sox hitting coach Jim Rice, who gave him credit for 1 batting average point too many. He actually hit .298 during his career, but there's another pretty impressive slugger that hit .298, and he's in the Hall of Fame, Mickey Mantle. There's still a lot of question as to whether Jim Ed will get his place in Cooperstown.
Well, if you were voting,
I'd have to look at those averages and years. You have to be a dominant player.
I think he'd get my vote. I'm liberal. Sterling Hitchcock tagged for a grand slam homer. Here's Wes Chamberlain, who ran for Jose Canseco. 4-0 Boston. Hitchcock has now given up 2 grand slams in his career with the Yankees. Fouled right over our heads, so the count is 1-2 to Wes Chamberlain.
Chamberlain came up with the Pirates, played for the Philadelphia Phillies, and Red Sox thought he might be their regular right fielder till Mark Whitten was acquired. But he still gives them some good right-handed power coming off the bench.
And Hitchcock missing way outside on the 1-2 pitch, so we're all even at 2-2. Jim Rice, by the way, hit 382 home runs, tying him with Frank Howard. There's a whole bunch of players right at that number, right around that number, who are not in the Hall of Fame. Hitchcock missing up and away, then down and in. He has gone to 3-2 now in West Chamberlain. Still only one man out here in inning number 3. Right back at Hitchcock. He got a glove on it. And he makes the play as the helmet of West Chamberlain goes flying off. So Hitchcock has been hit hard in this 3rd inning.
Wow. Jimmy Key speared one like this last night. It's like when a butterfly flies in front of your feet. You just wave at it. You see a blur and hope you can get leather on it. Hitchcock recovered nicely. Sometimes a line drive like that wake you up and you pitch a little better.
Now the batter is Mark Whitten. Seeing that line drive come back at Sterling Hitchcock reminds me of good news that Charlie Wansowitz, the Yankee batting practice pitcher, is now home in Staten Island.
That's good to hear.
Ripped into left field. It's another hit for the Red Sox. Whitten with a big turn. The big hit of this inning, the grand slam by John Valentin.
A high fastball with the bases loaded. And that's Valentin's 2nd career grand slam. And that's Sterling Hitchcock's reaction. Knew as soon as that ball was hit, it was out.
Red Sox with 4 runs and 4 hits this inning. And now here's Mike Greenwell.
Those not familiar with the injury to the Yankee batting practice pitcher, that happened in Port St. Lucie right near the end of spring training when Wade Boggs hit a line drive. Charlie couldn't get behind the screen, protective screen.
He subsequently underwent surgery, extensive surgery, but flew home yesterday, watched the game last night, and is recuperating in Staten Island. And we want to wish him a speedy recovery and hope to see him out here very soon. Sterling Hitchcock, the number 5 starter in the Yankee rotation, and he is struggling tonight here in the 3rd inning. Brian Boehringer
might see some early action.
This one is hit hard to right field. It's going to fall in front of Danny Tartabull. Whitten will make the turn and go into 3rd base. 5 hits in the inning now. Runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 men out.
Well, not easy for the number 5 starter to get on track, but I think what Buck Showalter would be disappointed in tonight is the approach from Hitchcock. He hasn't been as aggressive, hasn't challenged hitters early in the count, and against a good hitting team like the Red Sox, 1 through 9, you're going to pay when you're pitching consistently 2-0, 3-1.
Now Jim Leyritz is going to come out to talk to Hitchcock and buy time for Brian Boehringer to heat up in the bullpen.
Probably waiting for that phone to ring. Leyritz trip to the mound and he walks slowly back to home plate, waiting for that phone to ring and get Billy Connors the sign that Boehringer is all right.
Leyritz looking in as you looked at Billy Connors. Now Leyritz signaling the defense with runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs. And the dangerous Mike McFarland hitting. In the dirt and blocked by Leyritz. He'll call for time.
Well, that saved a run. Down 4, and that's a key number. And managers strive to get a 5-run lead because it means a grand slam home run cannot tie the ball game. And the reverse is true right now for the Yankees. You keep Whitten from scoring, even though Hitchcock has struggled. And Boehringer, one of your relievers, could come in and keep it a 4-run game. Always gives you that shot at getting the tying run to the plate.
Didn't get the call. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now, you're not going to get close calls when you're not consistently around the strike zone. Again, looks at first, and that pitch just a little below the knees in the opinion of the home plate umpire.
Again, you saw Hitchcock's eyes looking to first base, looking at the runner as he began his delivery. He may only have one more pitch. He's behind 3-0 in the count. And the crowd, from their response, tells you that Hitchcock earned the strike. Sterling Hitchcock, 24 years of age. And he lost him badly on that one. Bases loaded again. And that's going to be it.
Now, you don't like to tinker with a pitcher's motion as soon as he comes up from the minor leagues, but I would think in due time they're going to look at Sterling Hitchcock and that the way he looks at the runner at first base and doesn't pick up the target quickly enough. That Billy Connors and even Jimmy Key had some discussions with him in spring training, and that's something I think they might work with him. Buck has a lot of confidence in Sterling Hitchcock, his ability to pitch out of the bullpen if he is a failure as a starter. A few words of encouragement.
Yeah, he had some words to tell him there before he departed. It wasn't just hit the showers. We'll return to Yankee Stadium right after this.
You say you got that car from Hertz for 5 days, $99.
Exactly. With free unlimited mileage and all that Hertz service? Exactly.
Gee, what else could you want?
Some fish?
Hertz, 5 days, $99. Fish not included.
You mean our Hertz car for the weekend is only $25 a day?
Exactly.
With free unlimited mileage and Hertz service?
Exactly.
What else could we ask for?
Some marshmallows?
Hertz, only $25 a day. Marshmallows not included.
If you have a passion for your lawn, you need the new Toro Super Recycler Mower. You need its patented cutting system that gives you a cleaner looking lawn, even in thick, tall grass. And unlike ordinary mowers, it cuts clippings so fine it won't leave ugly clumps. Learn more about the Super Recycler Mower. Call now for your free video. Operators are standing by. Learn more about the best mower warranty around. If anything goes wrong for 5 years, Toro will fix it free. And Toro guarantees that it will start on the first or second pull. Call now for your free video that explains the best mower warranty available. Call this toll-free number now. Your free video will also show you all of the exclusive features of the Super Recycler Mower that can help you create that perfect lawn. Call for your free video that explains the Super Recycler's patented cutting system, the 5-year warranty, and its exclusive features. The call is free. The video is free. Toro, when you want it done right.
Ryan Boehringer, the new Yankee pitcher, to Tim Naehring. The Red Sox had batted around, and Naehring probably guessed that he would see a fastball. He did, and found it straight back.
You'll see quite a change in tempo this game from Brian Boehringer. One of the things he impressed the Yankee management with in spring training was his aggressive nature. Doesn't waste a lot of time. Throws strikes.
Naehring single to begin this inning. Boehringer's pitch is hit high in the air to short right field with 2 outs. Danny Tartabull drifting to the line makes the catch. Boehringer records the 3rd out. The Red Sox lead 3, but not before they picked up 4 runs on 5 hits. All charged to Sterling Hitchcock. Middle of the 3rd, 4-0 Boston.
The house is rocking again. Join the Yankees when they battle the Brewers in a giveaway weekend series Friday, May 5th at 7:30 and Saturday and Sunday, May 6th and 7th at 1:30. On Saturday, May 6th, all fans will take home a Yankee watch, compliments of Del Monte. And on Sunday, May 7th, all women 21 and over will receive an early Mother's Day present from Cheeseboro Ponds. Get your tickets now at the Stadium, Ticketmaster, and the Yankees Clubhouse stores. We'll see you at the stadium.
Don't wait any longer, or you'll miss the big sale on America's #1 selling minivans. Now on Plymouth Voyager, get lease rates as low as $179 a month. There are big savings on every minivan. Grand Voyager and Chrysler Town & Country. But the savings start at just $179 a month. It's too good to wait. Don't miss the Plymouth Voyager $179 lease. It's now or never. The Chrysler Plymouth National Minivan Sale, now extended. Only at the Minivan Store, your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Hundreds of natural forces may affect the survival of your business. And hundreds of companies may say they are as good as AT&T. But only AT&T guarantees that if your long-distance service ever goes down, it'll be back in minutes, not hours. Only our network gives every call a choice of up to 134 routes, so your calls get through, even when you can't.
Hi, I heard the phones were down out there.
Not mine.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
Dear car owners, a local mechanic could take days to get the muffler that's made for your car or truck, but Midas has mufflers that fit thousands of foreign and domestic cars and trucks. And we can usually do the job in less than an hour. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by UPS, moving at the speed of business. Jose Canseco won't be moving at the speed of business or any other speed for a couple of days, I would guess. He has a strained right groin muscle, and as we suspected, it happened when he caught the toe and the spike on his right foot before beginning his slide. Let's hope she doesn't begin her slide from the upper deck. She's in the Euchre seat.
Yeah, it's the coldest seat in the house. Although she's under that lamp up, maybe there's a little warmth up there.
Here's Tony Fernandez hitting 7th in the Yankee lineup. Switch hitter batting right. It's been a long inning in the dugout for Vaughn Eshelman. Eshelman is the rookie making his major league debut tonight. He threw only, 15 pitches in the first 2 innings.
And when you mentioned a long layoff, his pitching coach John Cumberland, I'm sure, will be watching very closely this inning. It's the most important inning to a starter when your team gets 4 runs for you to go out and throw strikes. But on a cool night, he's had about 15 minutes off. And he's been impressive the first 2 innings. You can see what the Baltimore Orioles saw in him as a number 4 draft pick. I thought the Yankees would take him deep into the count, make him throw strikes, but he's shown early on, 14 pitches through 2 innings, that he can find the strike zone.
Ooh, look out. It didn't hit Tony's body or his bat. That was off the glove.
Wow. Or was that a foul ball? No. Yeah, I believe it did. Didn't see an umpire's signal, but it looked like it caught the barrel of the bat. No.
That's a walk. I thought it hit the glove, and then what happens if it hits the glove and then hits the batter?
No, it would hit the. It would be past the bat and hit the glove. But these will be anxious moments for John Cumberland and Kevin Kennedy this inning, watching their rookie left-hander.
So Eshelman was in the groove, but now he has surrendered a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-0, the Red Sox lead.
See that curveball that missed? That's always a sign of a veteran catcher. Cumberland's going to come out to have a word with him. And you miss the strike zone with some fastballs, a good catcher will go right to the breaking ball, because that's a touch and feel pitch. It gets you back in the groove, keeps you from overthrowing. And this is not surprising at all that this would happen to a rookie pitcher. Team gets 4 runs. You sit in that dugout for 15 minutes, and now the pressure's on you to go out there and throw strikes and hold the lead. John Cumberland was a minor league pitching coach in the Mets organization for many years. This is his first opportunity at being a major league pitching coach.
Williams hits it to 3rd. They'll try to turn it, and they do. 5-4-3 double play, so whatever Cumberland said to him worked.
Well, and Eshelman, the type of pitcher players love to play behind. Other than Fernandez, he is in the strike zone, and as Naring and Alisei and Vaughn turn the double play, all 8 Yankee outs are a result of ground balls.
There's the curve for a strike to Pat Kelly.
And if you're an infielder and you know you're going to get your share of activity, it really keeps you on your toes when you know you have a pitcher that'll keep it down in the strike zone, get some ground balls.
There's that one that kind of flops out of his hand again. Pat Kelly, the number 9 hitter, with Bernie Williams hitting in the leadoff spot next. So Eshelman helped out by a double play in the first inning and a double play here in the third. And he falls behind Kelly 3-1.
Vaughn Eshelman pitched his college ball a couple of years after going to a junior college, University of Houston. That's where former Yankee Doug Trabeck pitched.
Full count now as Kelly fouls it down the right field line. John Cumberland with the stopwatch in hand alongside manager Kevin Kennedy. It's a good name to have if you're managing in Boston.
Didn't think we'd see him with that Red Sox uniform on this year. Quite a surprise that the Rangers let him go.
Ooh, very close, but it's a 2-out walk for Pat Kelly, who did not look back.
Full count pitch, just a little low and inside. The Yankees get a 2-out base runner.
Quite a pitching matchup between the Dodgers and the Giants today, with the Dodgers scoring a run in the top of the 15th. They lead the Giants 1-0. Bernie Williams grounded out to Mo Vaughn unassisted at first base.
That was part of their international rotation that started that game for the Dodgers.
Yeah, the IHOP rotation.
Hideo Nomo, Japanese phenom.
Right back through the middle for a base hit for Bernie Williams. Stopping at second base is Pat Kelly. Yankees with a mild threat here in the bottom half of inning 3 with 2 on and 2 out.
Be interesting to see what the Yankees can do second time through the batting order. They've seen Eshelman once, their first look at him. Now Bernie Williams for the second time. Wow, now that gives you an idea how quickly. I mean, it goes in about 90 miles an hour, high 80s, and it seems like it comes back a lot faster than that.
Williams gets a big lead, not being held on at first. Velarde hitting with 2 outs. He hits this one toward the gap in left center field. Coming, Tinsley. And he makes the catch. So there's the speed of center fielder Lee Tinsley. And the Yankees lead 2 on at the end of 3 here at Yankee Stadium. It's the Red Sox 4, the Yankees nothing.
Skies or gray skies, I'll always be around. You can rely on me, I'll never let you down.
Whatever little surprises life has in store for you, one thing you can always rely on is the cool comfort of a Tempstar air conditioner.
You can rely on me.
Rely on the Star. Tempstar.
In the playoffs, you bring your game or you go home.
That's why TNT hits the floor with the most games, live bonus coverage of other matchups, and people that know the NBA from the inside out. So when it's all on the line, TNT brings you its game, because nobody knows the playoffs like TNT. Playoffs begin April 27th on TNT.
Come to the interchange. Come to the interchange. Come to the interchange. To the better change to the better bank. Better. Come to the interchange. Come to the interchange.
Making your money make more for you. Interchange State Bank.
Ball is brought to you by Hoover. Nobody gets the dirt like Hoover. Nobody. Back at the stadium, we move to the top of the fourth inning, and Brian Boehringer, who got the last out of the third, will face Lee Tinsley, now hitting from the left side of the plate. Slash foul. Those not familiar with Boehringer, he made his major league debut Sunday against the Royals, pitched an inning and a third, a couple of strikeouts. Tinsley's lofty 450 average. Yankees acquired him from the Chicago White Sox last spring in exchange for Paul Assenmacher. 1-1, 2-1. Joined us late, John Valentin's second career grand slam off Sterling Hitchcock has given the Red Sox a 4-0 lead. Field line, slicing into the corner, and it's fair. Williams plays the carom, and Tinsley's going to have an easy double here to lead off the fourth.
Wow, you talk about the 8 and 9 hitters for the Red Sox. Naring and Tinsley, they've collected 3 hits already in 4 at-bats.
Mentioned last night, many wondered why the Red Sox wouldn't have pursued Andy Van Slyke to play center field after trading Otis Nixon, but they're going to give Tinsley an opportunity. He's cashing in on it. Now Alicea will turn around and hit from the left side of the plate. Shows bunt.
Boehringer comes right at you.
Again, shows bunt, takes high, 2-0. Luis Alicea out of a real good baseball program, Florida State. And knows in this situation his mission is to get Tinsley to third base. Try to get the Red Sox that 5th run.
Let's see how the Yankees play it defensively, because Velarde's in on the grass at third. Mattingly now has backed off with a 2-0 count.
High, 3-0.
No action in the Yankee bullpen.
John Valentin waits on deck. Wow. High again for ball 4. A little lower, a little tighter strike zone tonight than we've been accustomed to. Now this is how the Red Sox got the 4-run lead. Some wildness on the part of Sterling Hitchcock, and then a high fastball.
And at the wall, Gerald Williams making a bid, but realistically no shot at this one.
So already top of the 4th inning, John Valentin is up for the 3rd time in the ball game. Red Sox sent 10 men to the plate. In inning number 3, they have 2 on here with nobody out. 5 in a row now. Boehringer has missed the strike zone. Not the same pitcher we saw in Fort Lauderdale, where he was aggressive, getting ahead of hitters.
That time he tried the slider and missed.
Looked like it nicked him, and it did.
So John Valentin is going to first base after hitting the grand slam last time up.
Valentin with a few words to Jim Leyritz. And I'm sure after hitting the grand slam, he probably thinks, well, they're knocking me down. But when you've seen Brian Boehringer struggle with his control right now, and he's trying to earn a spot on the big league staff, there was no intent with that pitch. He's trying to get it in the strike zone. Just slipped out a little early and caught Valentin on the left shoulder. We might even be able to hear it hit his left shoulder. Yeah, you just heard that little tick in there.
Little tick, just like a foul tip, but it was his shoulder. So Boehringer got a visit from Billy Connors while you watch that replay. And Scott Bankhead is getting loose now in the Yankee bullpen. Bankhead has had 1 outing this year, and that was in Kansas City. Not particularly impressive. Now all Brian Boehringer has to do is face Big Mo.
Mo Vaughn up for the 3rd time. Grounded out to second base in both of his appearances against Sterling Hitchcock. High and deep to right field. Tartabull looks up, no chance for this one. The second grand slam of the game for the Red Sox, upper deck. And Boston leads it by 8. They scored 11 2 days ago and lost. They have 8 today.
The halftime call is the baseball that Mo Vaughn hit into the upper deck was finally picked up and thrown back onto the field. So there was no pitch. And the Sultans of Seton Hall have swatted 2 grand slams tonight.
Yeah, they've had quite an alumni game here between Valentin and Mo Vaughn. Good breaking ball there. Chamberlain swings through. Actually, the Red Sox had a fine young left-hand pitcher named Kevin Morton that was a teammate of Mo Vaughn's with the Red Sox for a while, no longer in the big leagues. So got to make that school proud. High foul pop down the left field line. That's going to reach the seats, and it's 0-2 to Chamberlain. Long night for the Yankee pitching staff.
And here it is, the fastball up belt high, and Mo knew it, and so did Tartabull, and this crowd just roared as Mo Vaughn deposited that one in the upper deck. Let's listen.
That breaking pitch is low, and it's 1-2 to Chamberlain. I guess the impressive thing about a power hitter like Mo Vaughn, I mean, that pitch was actually on the outside corner of the plate, and he hooked it. He pulled it into right field. Hit sharply, but right at Kelly. And the Yankees finally have the first out of the 4th inning. Check the location of this pitch. I mean, that's almost a foot outside. But that's the type of hitter Mo Vaughn is. He dives into the ball.
Yeah, he has his upper body over the plate, and he's so strong and his base is so solid that he can reach over and not lose his footing and then yank it out.
A lot of smiles and 8 RBIs in that picture.
Here they are.
Witten now turns around to the left side of the plate. And we know about his home run power from the terrific game he had with the St. Louis Cardinals a couple of years ago. A couple of hops towards shortstop. Fernandez is there. 2 down in the 4th.
Terrific may be an understatement to describe what Mark Witten did that in that game with the St. Louis Cardinals when he hit 4 home runs and drove in 12 runs, tying both all-time Major League records. So in my book, he had the most productive game of any hitter in baseball history.
You had mentioned with if he did that on a big market East Coast city, they'd have probably put a monument up for him. But
he'd be a legend.
In St. Louis, second game of a doubleheader. Not a lot of people in the stands or watching on television, and that game was on some highlights, but it kind of got lost in the shuffle. Greenwell up now and takes ball 1, hitting 6th in the Red Sox order, something he was not accustomed to. Used to hit 3rd here. Sharply toward Mattingly. Nice pick. So after the grand slam, Boehringer settles down, gets 3 ground ball outs, but the Seton Hall teammates Vaughn and Valentin have done the damage, and after 3.5 here at the stadium, the Bo Sox lead it by
8. Remember the feeling? Well, it's at your Toro dealer's spring truck clearance. Every truck has to go, so Toyota is giving factory-to-dealer incentives up to $1,500 and option packages up to $650 for a combined savings of $2,150. Buy a 4Runner and save up to $1,000 on Toyota's versatile 4-wheel drive sports utility vehicle.
Feeling to drive Toyota.
Get the savings, get the feeling at your Toyota dealer's spring clearance now.
You have your own dreams. your own way of getting things done. The walls to your office stretch from horizon to horizon. Your files move with you quite easily. You set up shop wherever you want. At Nobody Beats the Wiz, we want your home office to be a fantastic gateway to success. We can't promise your work will be any less a grind.
It's been a tough day, honey. Been in front
We
of my
will
computer
promise
all
you
day.
access to the office of your dreams, wherever that may be.
Oh, it were a stormy night it were, and the waves they were as tall as buildings. Then suddenly, crack, one of the waves hit the bow, smashed to bits. But let go of the wheel, not dog. Tight. Then I heard a
Hey, honey, didn't we go to school together? You're quite a catch. Hey, what's your sign? I'm a Pisces.
9X. More information, more solutions, more stuff.
The Yankees are at the stadium to take on the Boston Red Sox again. After Scorecard, tomorrow night, right here on MSG.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Bottom of the fourth, Vaughn Eshelman with a nice 8-run cushion. Pitches to Jim Leyritz, and it's in for a strike.
The headline could be Vaughn, and Valentin.
Now this weekend we'll see spelled the same way but pronounced Valentin, another outstanding shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers. Jose Valentin, looping liner right at Naring. One quick out here at the bottom of the fourth.
By the way, this is the first time since 1987 the Red Sox have hit 2 Grand Slam homers in the same game. Back then it was Ellis Burks and Marty Barrett.
Tartabull steps in. It's the kind of game, as the curveball hangs high for a ball, that Buck Showalter will probably use Scott Bankhead, Joe Osanio, some pitchers that need work, bring them in for an inning or two. You try to get something positive out of a game like this, and it's so demoralizing to the position players when you fall down 8 runs. You fall behind 8 runs early. 2-1 as Tartabull fouls that out of play.
All day long it looked like this game would be in jeopardy of even being played, and the concern was, well, if you're Sterling Hitchcock, you're the number 5 starter. If you don't get a chance for your first outing of the year today, then you've got to wait, what, another week possibly, or go to the bullpen? And
I hope that's not Sterling hiding behind that towel. I think that's Joe Osanio out in the bullpen. Breaking pitch misses, 3-1. It's always tougher for the number 5 man to get on track with the off days. Chop toward third. High hop. Naring's there again, and a strong throw to Vaughn in time. 2 down.
Boy, Eshelman continues to get ground ball outs. Only that line drive, the sinking line drive, was a put out in the air.
We're seeing more and more of this on big league rosters. Rule 5 players, and if those of you saw our pregame show with Al Troutwig in Kansas City, we went over what some of the rules are. Rule 1 through 4 and the waiver rules, but Rule 5 is when a player does not move up in classification. Broken bat pop-up, and we'll get into Rule 5 when we go to the top of the 5th as Vaughn puts away Stanley's pop-up, and Eshelman has a very effective 1-2-3 fourth. 4 complete, the second game of this 4-game set. Red Sox lead it by 8.
Are you nervous about retirement investing, but afraid the boat may leave without you? Here's a comfortable thought. MetLife's Preference Plus. A tax-deferred variable annuity. It's a chance to get your toe in the water. Preference Plus lets you be conservative or aggressive in your investing, and it's easy to understand. Want to retire in style? Ask about MetLife's Preference Plus. Get Met. It pays.
Dear car owners, something very timely is happening. It's our Midas 60-minute promise to you. A trained Midas technician will install any muffler in under an hour. Or we'll take $20 off your bill. That's a promise. So bring your stopwatch and experience the Midas 60-minute promise. It could become your favorite time-honored tradition. The Midas way. The way it should be.
At Nobody Beats the Wiz, car stereo never sounded so good.
So get behind the wheel, crank up the tunes, and love life. It's gonna be a long ride.
What would the national pastime be if Babe Ruth had never picked up a bat? Who would our nation turn its lonely eyes to if Joe DiMaggio had never played the game?